Hey, what's up guys? It's I Just Reroll here, and today we're going to be doing a VOD review of my own gameplay. Basically, I didn't really want to put out a guide on any team compositions like this week because, to be honest, the meta right now is basically just ASOL toggle, and I don't really enjoy it, and I don't really want to publish a guide on how to do it when it's a bug, and also like it's really not that hard to do, and also like it's about to be fixed tomorrow anyway. So I'm just gonna post a game that I played yesterday. It was a really fun game. I came second. It was a Olaf Scalescorn game with a really tight lobby, and yeah, we're just gonna do a VOD review, and I want to know your thoughts if you kind of like this type of footage. If you do, then I definitely think I can keep posting some VOD reviews of the games that I play. So before we get started, these are just my stats. So as you see, I am currently a Masters player. I've been Challenger in previous sets. Well, actually, the last time I was Challenger was in set 1. I just kind of quit the game and I started playing again this set, and I'm trying to climb back to Challenger, but you know, it's going to take some time because I took like over a year off, like 2 years off even, from TFT. But I believe I can get there, and as we see, I'm climbing pretty steadily. To be honest, one of the reasons why I'm not climbing is because I haven't been grinding like super much. As we see, it's like I mean, recently I have, but I took a few days off here. I was focused on making content as well as like I was playing on my Smurf, to be honest, because I didn't really like the new patch that much. Just because I don't like abusing bugs, so I didn't really find it fun to play, so I was kind of just playing different stuff on my Smurf. But yeah, like now that they're fixing the bug tomorrow or today evening, I should be playing on my main a lot more, I think, because I think the patch will be a lot more balanced and fun now. But yeah, this is kind of where I'm at right now, and this is the team composition that I played in-game. So we played Olaf Scalescorn. We want to be 3-starring our Olaf and Diana, and maybe even Lilia if we get the opportunity. These are just the best in slot. I did not actually end up playing this exact team composition in-game. In-game, we managed to find an early Hecarim 2, so we replaced Sejuani, and we also managed to find an early Yasuo, so we replaced Shen. So this is how our team composition looked at level 7. We didn't get the opportunity to go to level 8 this game. But with that being said, let's get into the actual VOD review. Okay, so I'm actually going to turn my webcam off during the VOD review because I'm wearing a headset. I don't know, I think it makes my face look a bit awkward, but maybe it doesn't. Anyways, I want you guys to focus on the gameplay more than me, obviously. So yeah, we're just testing things out. I'm using Squad OV to automatically record my games. And I'm not sure what sound I should put it at. Let's just skip right to the carousel, I guess, because this is taking a while. But as we see, it's mostly it's a Masters and Diamond, like high Diamond mixed lobby. And I think the volume's a bit loud, so I'll turn it down a bit. So here we see I went for the Giant's Belt, but I missed it. And then we end up just picking up a cloak. I don't really care what starting item I get, to be honest, nowadays, because I feel like pretty much any item can be used pretty well here in this current patch. I mean, I do believe AP items are the best, but like cloaks, sword, bow, everything is viable basically, I think. So we have a double cloak start. So to me, that already really indicates that I want to, I don't like building a Dragon's Claw early in a game, right? So when I have an early cloak, like double cloak start, I'm already thinking like Scalescorn Olaf comp. I'm thinking like Elise Siphon maybe. I'm thinking maybe like Shimmer Scale comp, or like some kind of Dragonmancer comp, because these are the types of comps that can really make use of a lot of cloaks really well. Over here we see that I skipped out on double Ezreal pair, and that's just because I value Aatrox so highly, especially when I have double Cloak start, because I think I could go Shimmer Scale start. Actually no, Shimmer Scale doesn't require many cloaks, because I thought the Shimmer Scale spat was a sword plus spatula, but it's actually, I mean, I thought it was cloak plus spatula for the Shimmer Scale emblem, but it's actually sword plus spatula, so that's my bad. So Shimmer Scale comp doesn't really require that many cloaks, never mind what I said about that. And then I'm just picking up a Vladimir in case we want to play like mages or astral mages. Here we pick up a pair of Sejuanis, which is good, and we see in the shop we can also pick up a pair of Karmas, which I'm going to do, I guess, if we do not get gold here. The thing is, like, we already have a pair of Sejuanis. So I'm definitely in my head already kind of thinking a bit like this could definitely be an Olaf game. We have an Ionic Spark already. We have a second cloak, which could be a Runon's Hurricane or a QSS or Bloodthirster. So it's looking good. Then we see the Lilia here, which I'm definitely picking up. Cavalier. So we got 2 Cavs on the board now. And we want to put in a 3rd unit. So we want to decide here whether we want to level to 4 or stay on level 3. I end up deciding to stay on level 3. Like, normally, you know, you're supposed to scout a bit here, right? Probably look at the lobby a bit, see how much stronger you are than them and stuff. But I focus more on my board first, to be honest, and I kind of just have this intuitive feeling. It's probably not best. You should definitely do both, and I need to speed up with this. I need to become faster at, like, deciding whether I want to level or not. But here it's a pretty close decision, because I have 2 pairs of Sejuani. I have a pair of Sejuanis, I have a pair of Karmas. And these are pretty valuable units, which I do want to level up. At the same time, these are my only pairs, so I do see why it's still worth leveling up. Like, other than this, do we really care about too many other, like, 1-cost units? Not really. So I do definitely think, like, leveling may have been the play here, but I decided not to level, and we're just going to stay on level 3 here. We remove our Aatrox to put in Kayn, because Kayn is a stronger unit at this current period, but we're going to keep our Cavalier synergy on the board, which makes a lot of sense. And because I'm, like, so unsure of what's happening in this game, like, I'm not sure if I'm going to level up next round maybe, or the round after. So it's a bit of an awkward spot, because I'm not really committed to lose streaking or win streaking yet. So yeah, this is a bit of an awkward spot, so I just slam an early item anyways. Ionic Spark is a very good early game item that you can use on many different team compositions. So we pick up Karma 2 here, and then we also have, like, we still have our Sejuani pair, but now we have an extra Skarner pair, as well as an extra, what's it called, set pair. So at this point, our options are still really open, actually. And the thing is, we definitely want to like, stay on level 3 this level, because we could still lose. Like, we could start a lose streak if we lose this next round, for example. At the same time, we want to make econ and get to 10 gold, so that's why I sold most of the units that I decided I'm not going to use. So I kind of cut Astral Mages out of the options for my opener, and we're just going with this Cavalier opener. And we want to pair one of these 2 units, basically. So I decide that I'm going to keep my Skarner pair. This guy is level 4, but you see, like, Cav Lilia with Ionic Spark and a Karma 2, very strong early game. So we end up winning, so it means next level we're going to be level 4 on pace with everybody else in the lobby. And we're actually going to kind of look to put up a strong board from here and kind of win streak. Because we're not in a bad spot right now. So we pick up a pair of Sejuani's. Here there's a Yone in our shop. I mean, a 2-star unit is going to be better, a 2-cost unit will be better than any 1-cost unit, so we put our Yone in. And it's 1 round before the carousel here, so we're trying to decide what we really want to build with this cloak. I mean, to be honest, when we have a cloak, like it's a Runon's Hurricane or Bloodthirster, most of the time I already have an Ionic Spark, so I don't really want to build a second Ionic Spark. Oh yeah, we can also move into a Corki comp, of course, with a cloak start. Like Runon's Hurricane is good with Corki comps, and like Dragon Claw can be built on Idis, for example. Okay, so over here on the carousel, we actually have everything we need. We're guaranteed to get something, pretty much, even though we're only 3rd pick. But here I see Olaf. So basically, by choosing Olaf here over a bow, I commit myself to Olaf, because an Olaf, even with the tier, can be used, so the tier can be turned into a hand of justice, basically. So I'm pretty much committing to Olaf. Like, if we have the opportunity to get an Olaf in stage 2, we always want to take that opportunity up, because it's going to allow us to sacrifice our Olaf early game and build up stacks of Olaf. Like, every time Olaf dies, he gains 5 extra AD. So in stage 2, if we have an early Olaf, and we're planning on playing him later in the game, we basically always want to sacrifice him. Later on in the game, obviously you want to you're more interested in having him actually deal tons of damage. But for now, we're more interested in sacrificing him a bit. So we see we're kind of just like win, lose right now, which obviously is not great, because we're about to lose this round. But I mean, it's fine. Like, all of our losses have been like good losses, and our economy is actually not too bad, as we see. Like, a lot of people are on 0 gold. Yeah, so a lot of people on 0 gold. I decided not to actually level that last round, which is a bit confusing. To be honest, I think I should have leveled. Honestly, I think I kind of just forgot to level. Yeah, I probably just forgot to level, which is probably a pretty big mistake. But the thing is, maybe I was more focused on sacrificing Olaf or something. Maybe I thought that was better at the time, but looking at it now, I definitely think we should have gone to 5 and tried to like continue our win streak. We had a 2 round win streak going on there, which we kind of threw away. And had we put in Olaf and Yone last round, we could have probably kept the win streak going. But it's fine. Like, at least we have decent economy. And one of the reasons we have decent economy is because we're selling like most of our units that we're not committing our team to. So here is a really good shop. We pick up another Olaf, we pick up another Lilia. And here, like, we have to make sure to sacrifice our Olaf, so I'm putting him on the left next to these 2 Krugs. But now the thing is, I've been in this situation before, and I've actually had my Olaf die in this situation. I mean, I've had my entire team die, actually. So this is why I decide to level up at the last second and just go to level 5 just to make sure that I actually beat the Krugs, because yeah, I've had a situation where I actually lost to the Krugs with Olaf before, because we're level 4 and we want to sacrifice our Olaf, but if we sacrifice our Olaf, the rest of our team is struggling. But in this situation, I think we had a good item on Lilia, and we had a Sejuani 2 inside, so I think we would have actually beat the Krugs regardless. But still, we only gained 3 gold here, so it wouldn't have made a big difference anyway. And here is another good shop. Firstly, we're given 4 Scalescorn, which is really good. We're on a 2 lose streak, so we're definitely not pre-leveling to 6 here. And yeah, I'd be selling that Scorner. We're never going to use him from here. And we have a second tier. So this second tier is always becoming a Frozen Heart. Frozen Heart is one of the core items onto Diana. It's one of the best items we can build in this team composition. Frozen Heart will slow down the attack speed of like backline carries, obviously. Like for example, against this Cannoneer team, Frozen Heart would be extremely valuable against them. And I actually have the option to build a second Ionic Spark. I'm not doing it because maybe I want to save this cloak for like a QSS or something. But it's pretty close, to be honest. Like, I would not mind like just slamming in an Ionic Spark right now, to be honest. But it's fine. Now, what's going on in this lobby is actually really interesting, because as we see, we're at the bottom of the lobby. We are the weakest, so we're going to be first pick in the carousel. Oh, this is an interesting selection of augments. Like the first augment, I think Celestial was kind of my only option. 12, 14. So we can actually go back to the first augment a bit. I'm just a bit interested in... Yeah, like we couldn't really pick Cannoneers from our spot. Item grab bag is obviously okay, but I already kind of had 2 cloaks, so I kind of already knew I wanted to go to Olaf. Like, if I have 2 cloaks in the early game and like a Cavalier start, I'm very likely to want to play Olaf. So Celestial Blessing was kind of an obvious choice. And over here, like this is like it's very close between Second Wind and Cav Heart. I don't really want to reroll Silver Augments, plus both of them are good. I decided to pick Cav Heart because firstly I'm gaining 1 Lilia, which gives me the immediate upgrade. But secondly, like having extra Cavaliers in this team composition is really good, because we are always going to have at least 2 Cavaliers, but it could even be like 3 or 4. So I'm definitely positing towards the Cavalier Heart. And over here we see Hecarim and Lilia, which is great. So we level up to 6 here to be on pace with the rest of the lobby. And we do not need the Sion anymore, basically. And I'm kind of just positioning a bit randomly to make sure my Olaf's not the first one to get hit. But yeah, so I was talking about my health earlier, and looking at this, we are actually like going to be first pick, but we still have a lot of health, right? So basically in this lobby, everyone is constantly trying to be strong. No one has been intentionally lose streaking really. And that put us in the position where we're actually the ones lose streaking. So we're on a 4 loss streak now. And we have 68 health still on the second carousel, which is really good, like on the stage 3 carousel, which is like super good for us actually, because like we're going to be able to build like any item. Like I could build a Runon's Hurricane, I could build a Frozen Heart, So I think my first priority would actually be Runon's Hurricane, and second one would be Frozen Heart. So it's always important before you go to a carousel round to be thinking of what item you'd want to pick up, rather than just do it during the carousel round, because then you're often gonna be short on time and forget what you need. So we are now on a 5 lose streak, which is fine, I'd say. We're not in a bad spot. We're very, very rich. So you'll notice I didn't spend any gold rolling at level 6 either. And that's because I didn't have to. Like, I consider this team composition stable on level 6 with 4 Scalescorn. So we're really looking for 4 Scalescorn and Lilia 2. Like, if I have 4 Scalescorn and Lilia 2, I consider myself stable. So there's a bow here. But I actually decide to pick the armor because I decide that Frozen Heart is also super valuable. I actually like it, yeah. Like, we can always build Olaf items later in the game once Olaf becomes our main carry. But early in the game, like, the items are our carries and the Scalescorn trait is our carry. So early on in the game, we really want to make use of, like, direct damage items. So Ionic Spark, Runon's Hurricane is good too. What else? Static Shiv, although it's not a core item with this comp. And 4 Scalescorn is very important. And then we want to get all these guys to 2-star. But Olaf items are really only crucial like later into the game. Olaf is more of a carry later into the game once he stacks some of that AD. So it looks like we're gonna end our lose streak here, which is totally fine. I mean, I'm holding on to Silas, but it's not often that I use Silas. Okay, so I sell Silas for Nunu. I'd rather put in Nunu at level 7 if I have no other option. Like, the best option would be Talon. However, Nunu is always going to be fine. It will give us 5 calves, which is good. Right, we also want to put in Shen, yeah. Okay, so we're winning into the Wolves, and we're looking to push level 7 after the Wolves. Notice here I'm making sure to sacrifice my Olaf again. Put Olaf in the 3rd row, not in the 4th row, because if you put him in the 4th row, the Wolves won't surround him. If you put him in the 3rd row, the Wolves will go all around him and he's pretty much guaranteed to die. I also took out Sejuani and Hecarim because they can charge at the Wolves, so I kept a very weak team here. Maybe I should have took out Shen too. Oh, I think I put Shen on the side. But yeah, that's good. Upgrade Braum. Level 7. So when we hit level 7, our goal is to get Olaf 2, Diana 2. Basically, we want to 2-star our entire team. Pretty much, yeah. So that's what I'm looking to do right now. So that's why you see me keep on rolling. So I see Nunu here, but then I realize I put Shannon, so I have no place to put Nunu in, because I'd rather have a Sejuani over Nunu for the guild buff. Yeah. And our items weren't too great at the Wolves. We didn't get many items. So over here we obviously have no choice but to slam our Ionic Smoke, finally. And it looks like this Ionic Spark and Frozen Heart are doing a lot of work over here. As we see, Diana and Lilia sharing the brunt of our damage. We didn't manage to 2-star our Olaf yet, but we're actually pretty strong. Okay, here we have, like a lot of people would pick cybernetic implants, but I really love Gadget Expert with this particular team composition because this composition makes so much use of direct damage items. We build Runon's Hurricane, we build Ionic Spark, and like a Static Shiv won't be bad. So Gadget Expert to me here is the clear choice. It's the only choice here. And if you looked at the damage chart from last round, it's mostly magic damage so far. So it's always Gadget Expert here. Later on in the game, our Olaf will be dealing a majority of physical damage. And we hit Olaf 2, which is also great. Here I'm just gonna put that Static Shiv onto Lilia. And from this point on, we're basically just slow rolling. Like we're in a very good spot right now. Our team composition is very strong. So what we should focus on now is positioning. So mainly positioning our Frozen Heart and making sure our Olaf isn't going to be the first one to get hit, basically. So this obviously was not the person I was positioning against, but because we just upgraded all of our units, we kind of hit a little bit of a power spike. So I think we're gonna win most rounds for a while. Yeah, we're in a very good spot now. We're gonna start win streaking. I mean, we have been win streaking. So we've been win streaking and we're slow rolling. And we pick up a Yasuo here. And I just realized we didn't even 2-star our Shen yet. So it's an easy choice to get rid of our Shen here. The thing is we don't have any items for Yasuo, but that's fine. Like we can find some items for Yasuo in the future. So this is good positioning against this guy. He's got a double trouble Varus and Ilaoi. I don't think double trouble is very strong. I mean, the silver augment, like the silver double trouble. I would rather pick gold or prismatic double trouble. But he actually ends up doing okay this game. But with the Varus nerfs, I don't know. I might rather go like Yone double trouble, like Yone, Brom. That's a pretty good way to play double trouble, I think. But whatever. Who am I to criticize other players? So what am I looking here? And what am I looking for here? So I want a glove. It looks like I'm just going to build my Quicksilver stash, which makes sense. So I was probably looking for a bow firstly. Oh no, I'm looking to build a Hodge, right? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like this tier is always becoming a Hand of Justice, so yeah, it makes a lot of sense that I want to turn it into a Hand of Justice. And we just keep on slow rolling here, not much else to do. So we're quite far off from Olaf 3 I mean. And that's because someone is like softly griefing us by taking some Olafs. I think we end up losing this round. This guy is level 8 and he rolled to 0 gold. Or maybe we win? No, it looks like we lost. I mean, we should lose when he spends all his gold on level 8. His Zoe was really clutch as well, obviously. Diana and Lilia. Yeah, so it looks like we're going to be hitting Lilia 3 and Diana 3, but Olaf 3 is really far off, and it's because the guy with double trouble is taking our Olafs for some reason, because he wants to play his board with a 2-star Olaf. Which, to be honest, I don't quite understand, but it's okay. So I put a cloak onto my Olaf because, like, I know that I'm always going to be turning it into either a QSS or Runons. I'm really more interested in building a Runons. I don't care super much about the QSS at this point in time, to be honest. Like, we haven't gotten too many items this game, I feel like. So it's kind of a low roll game in terms of items and also in terms of finding like Olafs. So here is a Runons, and we can build a Runons plus like a Gargoyle Stone Plate, or like Runons plus Thornmail on someone. But I decided that I can find something better. I have a ton of gold. But this was definitely very tempting. Then we have a blue buff here. I'm like, maybe I could put it on Yasuo. But then I realized I really want a Runon's Hurricane. I have Gadget Expert. So, and then here is really good. We have a Sunfire Cape, Runon's Hurricane, and Trap Claw. So this is a very good shop. So we're going to pick that up. So Sunfire Cape can go on to Diana, Trap Claw. I put it on Braum, but I don't know, maybe I should have put it on Pekrim or Talon, I don't know. Okay, so we're playing against a 1-star Aurelion Sol, so it looks like we win this. Although he almost won. But our Diana is very strong and tanking a lot. She's got 3 items. And we're actually quite close to Diana 3 and Lilia 3. So we're going to see that we want to roll for those quite soon. So I'm not going for Braum 3 this game. And yeah, like we're so close to Diana and Lilia that we're just rolling down for those units now. So we hit Diana 3 and we're going to take a break at 20 gold. We don't want to use all of our gold just yet. We want to have the opportunity to hit Olaf 3 if possible. So currently we're at the top of the lobby now. But this guy hit our Diana with his Zephyr. So because of that, we are going to take a pretty big loss. Like we almost did not kill anything actually. Yeah, so really important not to be getting Zephyred, not to have our Diana get Zephyred. That's one thing I learned from watching this VOD. It's that our Diana is extremely important. Here I'm just going all in for Lilia 3. Like, I lost a lot of health there. I don't think I can keep losing this amount of health. We find a Yasuo. And we finally managed to find Lilia. We rolled all of our gold for it. It's not bad. However, it means we're unlikely to hit level 8 this game, unfortunately. And we're still quite far away from Olaf 3, to be honest, so it's tough. So this is a double trouble guy who's been taking our Olafs. Close loss to him. If we positioned against him better, probably could have won. Like if my Diana frozen hearted his Varus's. So it's the carousel. We are interested in either a final Olaf item or the Yasuo. Like, the Yasuo is really good because we can upgrade him right now. And there weren't really any Olaf items, so this was like extremely good for us actually. Like, being able to get an upgraded Yasuo on level 7 is obviously amazing. It's going to help a lot. And we really need to focus on positioning here. So I decided I'm just going to frontline my Hecarim, which kind of makes sense, I guess. So most of the players I'm fighting against are on the right side, so I should be positioning my guys on the right side. Frozen Heart on the right, that's good. This is the one guy who was on the left. So we're getting quite unlucky with matchmaking recently. I've been repositioning for the majority these past few rounds. And every time we fight against the minority. So what I mean is I've been positioning against, like, I know I'm going to play against one of 3 or 4 players. And there's always 2 or 3 guys on one side. So I'm always positioning against the majority, but I'm always playing against the minority. So our matchmaking has been very unlucky. And last round we lost so much health. So we were near the top of the lobby, but now we're on 2 health. But it's a very close lobby. Like, plenty of people could get kicked out in the next round. So we are fighting for our lives now. Okay, we're on the correct side this time. And his ASOL is poorly positioned. He's right in front of our Diana. So, because we managed to kill his ASOL early, this round was close, but we win it. So that's top 5. And we're 2 Olafs off. So we're getting a jeweled gauntlet here, which is a good item for Lilia. But notice we also have a Reforges. So at this point, I kind of think, you know, like, jeweled gauntlet is good, but I don't want a 3rd Lilia item, to be honest. And Rageblade also isn't the optimal Yasuo item, so I'm thinking maybe I can reforge both of these items into something better for one of my 3 carries that I can still put items on. Like, I can still put items on Yasuo, Olaf, and Lilia. So here, this is a really good reforge, as we see. We got Giant Slayer and Thief's Gloves, so Giant Slayer onto Olaf, Thief's Gloves onto Yasuo is the obvious choice here. We're rolling down, we just want to hit that Olaf. And on 0 gold we finally hit, so that's pretty huge. pretty huge that we managed to hit our Olaf. So I noticed most of the other players were on the left side, so I changed my Diana's positioning here, which is really good in this fight because my Diana is going to slow down this guy's Varuses. And it's because of that that we win this round. We actually win it very handily. And that actually puts us in the top 3. So there's one guy with Ace-All 2, who we should not be beating if he positions properly. However, he's toggling right now. So, as we see, this guy is currently toggling. He has a Zephyr in the front, but since he's toggling, he's not really repositioning, so I don't need to worry too much about the Zephyr. I just need to position how I feel is going to be best against him. So I just want to hit his Ace-All with my Diana, which is exactly what I'm doing. And yeah, even though we positioned pretty much perfectly against him, it was still a very close fight. But it was good enough to win and get us to the top 2. So in the next fight, obviously, he knows he just lost. He's going to be much more careful about his positioning. So I should definitely be positioning better. But I actually did not position very well here against him. Obviously, he's got his Zephyr against my Hecarim. But here what I should notice is that he's backlined his entire team. Like his Silas and Ilaoi are like covering Ace-All in the front, right? So it's like, I doubt he's going to move his team at the very end. This is just how his team is going to look at the end. Maybe he'll reposition his Zephyr, but I don't really care about that, right? So I think what I should do is I should probably just put my assassins in the front line. Like I should put Talon and Diana like up here or something, or at least Diana needs to be here. And then like I think everyone else should be like in the 3rd row where they are. Yeah, kind of like this. And I think that would be the best positioning, but I don't do that. Alternatively, I could just put everything in the front row as well. If I put everything in the front row, that's also going to be good with Diana on the left side, either on this block or the second block, or maybe this one. No, it has to be one of these two in order to like get my team to walk up to his front line faster. But I like having my entire team on the 3rd row because it pulls out, it drags out like the Silas and Ilaoi a bit. Yeah, so it's one of those two options. But against the Zephyr, it's probably best to frontline everything because it's going to be harder for him to choose which one to hit. I really don't want my Diana to get Zephyr, to be honest, because she has the Frozen Heart. But as we see here, my Diana gets Frozen Hearted. I didn't really pay attention to my positioning, and that caused me to lose the fight. But I mean, to be honest, his team should be winning, right? Like he has way more items because he was toggling. He has everything 2-starred, including Zoe and Aurelion Sol. Like if he loses this fight, I mean, he must have really messed up or the game's really imbalanced, but the game's not. I mean, the game's imbalanced, but towards Aurelion Sol in this patch. So yeah, he should be winning this fight. But second place was a great result this game. And that's going to be it for today's VOD review. So I hope you enjoyed this, and let me know what you think. Until next time, guys.